Coming up on this episode of Hit the Sled, Commanders slash Redskins have hired their new GM. Next on Hit the Sled. Hey, what's up, everybody? This Eve coming to y'all with another episode of Hit the Sled. Before we get started on this episode, hey, follow me. I'm on YouTube. Follow me on my YouTube channel, Hit the Sled. But not only am I on YouTube, I'm also on Facebook. I'm also on Twitter. And I'm also on Instagram. That being said, we got some big topic. We got a big topic to talk about today. And that's the Redskins slash Commanders hiring of Adam Peters. Excuse me. This morning, towards going to the afternoon, Adam Schefter reported that Adam Peters will be the Commanders' next GM. By all accounts, he was the best candidate out there. Everybody from Adam Schefter, the Ian Rappaport, to ESPN, to Jay Glazer, everybody said Adam Peters was the guy. And the Redskins slash Commanders got the guy. And let's say this guy was so well regarded within the National Football League. If Dan Snyder was still the owner, he would not be the Redskins slash Commanders GM. I'm just calling a spade a spade. He would not be he would not be here if Snyder was the owner. This guy was turning down interview requests. Last year alone, he turned down an interview request to be the GM of the Cardinals, the Arizona Cardinals, the Tennessee Titans, the Los Angeles Chargers, and the Raiders, and the Las Vegas Raiders. He was turning down interviews. He was not even interviewing with people. And for the Commanders slash Redskins, Josh Harris and Magic and Mitchell Rails, and for these guys to be able to get him, this was a hell of a haul. Hell of a haul. One thing about him coming in, he's going to be set up with the review, the team's front office. He's going to have to come in and figure out whether or not people like Mon Mayhew, whether or not they're going to have a future with the team. But here's what I can tell you, though. Mon Mayhew worked with Adam Peters in San Francisco for the past 3-4 years before Mon Mayhew came here to the Redskins. Adam Peters, he's been in the league for the past 21 years. He's worked for the Patriots, he's worked for the Broncos, and also he's worked with the Niners. He's won 3 Super Bowls. He's been to 6 conference championships and 13 divisional titles. During his time as the assistant GM of the Niners, he drafted 5 All-Pros and 15 Pro Bowlers by the people that he drafted. Let me repeat that again. Just with San Francisco alone, since he's been there, they have drafted 5 All-Pros. And 15 of those players have been 15 times Pro Bowlers. Meanwhile, with us here at the Commanders, when Snyder was running the team, we had one guy, one All-Pro, and only 11 Pro Bowl appearances. That's it. He's been with the Niners for the past 7 years. He's doing a hell of a job. He did a hell of a job for the San Francisco 49ers. You got 5 All-Pros. People that you brought in, people that you drafted. The Kittles of the world. The Deebo Samuels of the world. The Fred Warners of the world. You traded for Trent. You traded for McCaffrey. Man, the guy knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. And the Redskins got him. They got the top guy in NFL front offices that were up for jobs. One of the things that it's apparent just looking at it, Josh Harris and ownership, Magic, Mitchell Rails, and David Bliss, and these guys, they work fast. They work real fast. Man, they fired Ron Rivera on Monday because Ron was the de facto GM. They fired Ron Rivera on a Monday. They got a new GM in place by Friday. By all accounts in the league, that's not typically how it works in football. That's not how it works. Typically, it takes a little bit of time, but hey, they were on it. It looks like to me, while the season was going on, they were doing the work behind the scenes. They had a lot of this stuff already lined up. And I'm going to get to why I say that. They also, looks like a guy like this doesn't come cheap. They're going to spend the money to get the right people. Believe it or not, you know, these guys are billionaires, NFL owners, they're billionaires, but they really ain't trying to spend no money if they don't have to. But Josh and these guys, they making an investment. They looking at this as an investment for them to bring in somebody, hire somebody that can bring in the people that they need for the team to be successful. So if that takes them spending some money to hire the right people, they're willing to do that. That's smart. One of the other things is NFL people seems to be really high on this ownership group. And what I mean by that is the Commanders, Redskins, nobody turned down their request to do an interview. Everybody was willing to work with them. Everybody wanted to come here. And that's a combination of the Redskins are going to have the number 2 pick in the draft, 2 second-round draft picks, and two third-round draft picks. That's 5 picks in the top 100 and top 100. You do a lot of damage with that. So people were willing to come here and meet the ownership group and interview. I think that's telling you something right there. The Redskins, Snyder couldn't get nobody to come interview. They used to be waiting 2, 3, 4 weeks, a month to find people. I remember the one time when they had to hire Jim Zorn, they hired Jim Zorn as the offensive coordinator before they hired a head coach. When they couldn't find a coach, they had to bring Jim Zorn back to hire him as the head coach. Y'all remember that? That's how Jim Zorn became the coach. They went and got Jim Zorn. Jim Zorn was the quarterback coach in Seattle. The quarterback coach. They hire him as the offensive coordinator before they hired a coach. That's what they did. They hired an offensive coordinator before they hired a coach. Now you tell me what head coach in his right mind is going to come in, take a head coaching spot, and you already picked my offensive coordinator. Who's going to do that? So they couldn't find nobody. And then they said Jim Zorn, well, you going to be the head coach. They said Jim Zorn was like, what? Who, me? I'm the head coach? Yeah, you the head coach. By the end of Jim Zorn reign as the head coach of the Redskins, they went and got Sherm Lewis off the bingo hall, the bingo caller. He came in to take over play calling from Jim Zorn. We ain't dealing with these type of people here. Josh Harris and Magic and them, these guys are real professionals. They know what they doing. When they want somebody, they're going to make it happen. And people, high-level people within the National Football League think highly of these guys. Man, things are changing in D.C., man. Things are changing. The Commanders/Redskins are going places. For the first time, they're getting the right people that are in charge of the football business, football the product on the field. They starting to get the right people. Now, one of the things I read, according to the Athletic, Josh Harris and Redskins, they had extensive working knowledge and relationship in the 49ers front office. They knew exactly what was going on in the 49ers. And the reason why they knew that is because Josh Harris has business ties with the 49ers team president, a guy by the name of Al Gudo. I might be pronouncing his name incorrectly, excuse me, through a venture called Elevated Sports Ventures. Now, you asking yourself, what is Elevate Sports Ventures? What is that? Elevate Sports Venture is an analytic company co-founded in 2018 by Josh Harris's group, ownership group, along with David Blitzer. So this guy, the San Francisco 49ers team president, is the CEO of a sports venture, technology and data and analytic company. He's the CEO, the 49ers team president. He's the CEO of a technology and data analytic company, co-founded by Josh Harris. And they had all the ties. They knew what was going on. They knew who this guy was. They knew what he was about. They knew everything about him. Man, listen here. These people ain't playing. They ain't playing. Now, before everybody say he had to hook up and this, and this, hey, Adam Peters, yeah, he might have had the right sources, but this man right here, was voted by the NFL agents as one of the league's top talent evaluators. And also, he was voted as one of the most trusted people in front offices in the National Football League. And that's by agents. And that's rare for someone who is not the actual GM. Mind you, he's the assistant GM. He's the assistant GM, and he's being voted by agents as one of the top league talent evaluators and one of the most trusted people in NFL front offices. So they got a guy who has a very good relationship with the agents. So when free agency starts, when somebody call from 703 and they know it's Adam Peters, that agent's gonna pick up the phone because he got good relationships with him. If it's a player that the Redskins really want, Redskins got first dibs. Once the money right, Redskins got first dibs. See, this how it work. This how it work. Man, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell y'all something. This thing, man, I believe it was a home run high. It was one of those things, man, where they knew who they wanted. They had prior relationship with his boss. That meaning Josh Harris had a relationship with Adam Peters' boss, who is the team president for the 49ers. He knew everything about him. They knew everything about him. They knew what type of guy it is. And I'm sure Bob Myers, being as though he's over there in Golden State with the 49ers, interacting in those circles, somewhere down the line, the type of circles that Bob Myers is in, he's the GM of the Warriors. You got the assistant GM with the 49ers. They run into each other. So Bob Myers knew the guy as well. You see how all this thing comes together? Man, these people here, man, we got trained, we got real ownership here. I was one of the ones, man. I wanted Jeff Bezos. I wanted Bezos bad. I wanted Bezos and Jay to be the owner. I wanted Bezos, Amazon, build a stadium down RFK. Money ain't no problem. But it looks like, man, I was wrong. Josh Harris and them got this thing, man. They know what they doing. They ain't playing around. This thing right here. Now we don't know who's gonna be the coach. One of the things he's gonna be part of, he's gonna be now part of the interview group that's gonna be interviewing these candidates for the next head coaching job. The Redskins have put out several requests. They put out several requests to talk to some people, talk to players. Talk to coaches. People like Raheem Morris. People like Ben Johnson with Detroit, Aaron Glenn with Detroit, Mike McDonald with the Ravens, the defensive coordinator Mike McDonald, the former defensive coordinator for my Michigan Wolverines. They gonna be talking to these people. Now everybody you hearing online or on radio everywhere, they talking about Ben Johnson is the favorite. I don't know that. I like Mike McDonald. He's a young guy. Let's see what he can do. Raheem Morris. Let's see, man. He was a head coach at 32 down there in Tampa. Man, it's been man. That was over 10 years ago, man. I'm sure he spent a lot of time with Sean McVay. He can be able to do something. I want to see who's gonna be the coach because we got ammunition to do damage this offseason, man. We got real ammunition to do some damage. We got ammunition, man. The Magic and them ain't playing. Magic and them ain't playing at all. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is this thing right here is gonna be something. It's gonna be cooking. And Hit the Sled is the place for it. You gotta come to Hit the Sled. Hit the Sled. I will have everything for you. All the information that you need. Up to date. We dropping it. If news happen, Hit the Sled gonna have it for you. No problem at all. We coming. We coming. We're going to get this thing up and going, man. The offseason just getting started, y'all. It's just getting started. Season over, but this the time. You got to build to the fall. Fall, the game. Season coming. By the time you look up, it's going to be the fall. We're going to be here. We're going to be here rocking. Hit the Sled. Hit the Sled. We coming, man. I truly appreciate y'all checking me out. Adam Peters, the head coach, the GM. Or the Rock, we've been crying, we've been screaming and yelling. We want a GM. Why Snyder can't get a GM? Snyder gone. We got an owner now. We got real ownership. We got a GM. Somebody that's gonna pick the play. Somebody who has a track record. I told y'all earlier, since the time he was with the Niners, he drafted 5 All-Pros. Debo. George Kittle. Fred Warner. Bosa, Nick Bosa. Man, I'm trying to tell you, man. Man, these are the type of guys we need. We need to find us a new Dexter. We need to find us a new Alkmaar. We need to find us a new Charles Mann. We gotta have it, man. We've been destitute for 24 years. We got to have it, y'all. And Hit the Sled is the place to get all your information. Hit the Sled. We coming. Man, I truly appreciate y'all checking me out on this Friday night. Man, hey, we going to have more and more information coming to you. Whenever the information drop, Hit the Sled is the place for you to come get it. Man, I truly appreciate it. Continue to watch me right here on Hit the Sled on my YouTube channel, Hit the Sled. But not only that, you can follow me on Twitter at Hit the Sled, on Instagram on Hit the Sled. And then we're gonna get the TikTok going, the Twitter. We coming. We coming. Hit the Sled. I appreciate y'all checking me out.